Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick. I'm joined by Justin.
Hello!
We're here to talk about some more Wave 12-13 hype. Today is the Alpha Class Starwing, also known as the Assault Gunboat. This ship is...
Bonkers?
Bonkers?
Not bonkers,
good
but...
and efficient.
Yeah.
Good and efficient. It's doing what a lot of ships have done in the game for a very long time, but doing it all very efficiently. It's very Imperial.
I was going to say, it is like the Imperial ship.
Yeah, it is the Imperial Alpha strike ship. That's what it's all down to. You don't have a whole plethora of upgrades like you do on like Skirg bombers or contractor scouts from back in the day. You have a small handful of like 4 or 5 upgrades that are doing a lot of work.
It uses the cards and it uses them well.
Absolutely. Has a variant which allows it to use cannons, has a variant that allows it to use torpedoes and missiles. Can take neither of those variants for a nice budget. In the current meta that we're seeing right now in regionals, and that version of the list used the Rose Squadron Veteran with Deadeye, Harpoon Missile, Guidance Chips. None of the titles. None of the titles, which is interesting.
I suppose it doesn't really need it, does it?
No, and I guess the efficiency of Deadeye just means, hey, let's keep it simple. And just sometimes that's just the better option. Spending 1 or 2 points just doesn't make sense in this list. Alongside a very efficiently well-costed Kylo. Yeah, I like what's going on with this. But the list that we're going to talk about today all use the various titles to try and get as much efficiency out of the basic core frame of the ship. Today, we're going to cover lists that just use the Starwing. We're going to do another video on this that uses the Starwing and other ships. But today we're going to focus more on what makes this ship good at the core frame. No named pilots, nothing fancy, just what's the best combination of upgrades to make this a good efficient build. We have one list that uses 4 of it and 2 lists that uses 3 of it.
Okay.
And I think the question we have to ask is what's the most efficient way of using this ship? But let's bring up this first, the 4 Horsemen by Coda. This is a 4 of build.
100 points?
Yep, so we've gone for 25 points across all of these ships. Each of these new squadron pilots has long-range scanner, XG1 assault configuration, linked battery, and the Mangler cannon. And right off the bat, that's a very expensive Mangler cannon. That's a 7-point Mangler cannon you have there. That's not necessarily a terrible thing, but it really comes down to what you want to be doing here. Long-range scanners is interesting with linked battery. I'm not sure if that's really what I want to be doing because you get a target lock at the start of the game, but the linked battery is already giving you a reroll, so the target lock isn't giving you a heap of value. Having said that, there's nothing else for 0 points you can put in the mod spot. The danger here is you can't take target locks at range 1 to 2 with long range scanners. It's only 3 or beyond, which could potentially be dangerous here. I mean, this is the best Mangler cannon you'll ever fire.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. It's just that linked battery. Do you think that's what we should be doing here? Essentially what you've done here is you've spent 7 points on a Mangler cannon. That's what has happened here. It's a Mangler cannon with a reroll for 7 points. I don't think that's exactly what the Mangler cannon wants to be doing. You can't fit the HLC in this, and I think that was purposefully designed by FFG.
Yeah.
If this cost 1 less point, you go XG1 assault configuration and heavy laser cannon. Thankfully, we can't do that. You can't get 4 HLCs on a squad. That's probably a good thing. However, you could do 2 heavy laser cannons and drop the linked battery off the other 2 and keep Mangler cannons on. And that firepower factor might just be better overall. That gives you more raw dice. I know you don't get rerolls off linked battery, but at the end of the day, more dice are better than rerolls. Mathematically speaking, that's what you want to be doing with your attacks. This is just solid. There's nothing really I have to say that's too harsh a criticism. You've just gone for the basic, okay, I'm just going to fire Mangler cannons all day long and have a great time with it. You haven't got the value out of XG1 assault configuration where you can fire a cannon that costs 2 or less. Yeah. And maybe that's what you want to be doing instead of linked battery. A tracked or a jamming cannon.
But then you're using linked battery for the Mangler cannon?
I guess so. But is that worth 2 points? I don't actually know. It's not bad. Like it's not bad, it's not great. I don't think this is doing anything super amazing. If you take off that 2 points of linked battery, you can go advanced slam instead of long range scanners. Which could be good as well. But again, you don't get the free attack off Mangler cannon, so Yeah, nothing here for me is a home run, is what I'm saying.
Middle of the road.
That's it. And look, the great thing is we can't do a harpoon missile build on these guys that is too broken. We saw before in the regionals list that you're just taking harpoon missiles and Deadeye on the generic guy that has an EPT, on the Row Squadron veteran, and that costs 26 points. If you were to put the other title on this with a harpoon missile, you're using up 6 points, you're up to 24 points. That means you can't do anything too crazy. You can't take extra munitions. You can't take Deadeye because there's no APT. You can take guidance chips with that, but is that what you want to be doing for 24 points? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not insane at 24 points. And I think that's just all right, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think the 25 point is an awkward spot for the Alpha Class Starwing.
Yeah, I think it does better at 26, doesn't it?
It does a bit better at 26. And that's a good thing because it means that we can't just do the spamming of 4 lists with super efficiency. I get the feeling, and I noticed this when FFG released the Protectorate Starfighter. They specifically made the generic PS1 Protectorate Starfighter 20 points. So it couldn't take the 1 point title and fly 5 of them. You had to take 5 of them without the title. Same thing here. It's not quite efficient enough to get the most value out of 25 points.
Yeah.
But you do have 4 of them. And don't turn your nose up at that.
No.
That's another 7 hit points on the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's another cannon pointing at your opponent. And that might be the difference between, doing insanely well and not. I will say, as someone that flies 4 Kirax with the Vaxi, I feel like that is doing more work. It's more versatile than this.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what the Vaxi with the Kirax is trying to do. This perhaps is not the role of the Starwing. Having said that, I'm sure this is a fun list to fly.
Yeah.
You're getting good stats across 4 ships. I just don't think it's the best thing you can do with 4 ships. So on that note, let's look at a couple of builds that uses 3 ships. This is by Jess Gersh, and it uses 3 of the Row Squadron veterans. Each of them has expertise, harpoon missiles, guidance chips, XG-1 assault configuration, tractor beam, and linked battery. Okay.
So you're able to use tractor beam all the time, basically?
Yep, even if you do a slam, you can always reroll on tractor beam. You can always reroll on your primary. I don't know if that linked battery is good enough. Your 2 dice primary or your 3 dice tractor beam, is that really worth having the 2 points spent on it? I'm not sure. To be honest. Yeah, I don't know. You could take extra munitions, but this already has reload, so extra munitions has less value on this ship.
I've never been a big fan of tractor beam, personally.
It's not
terrible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The fact that you get the value if you do a slam, you can still shoot it. I think that makes tractor beam worth taking.
I'd rather be dealing damage. You can use tractor beam to make sure that your next ship is going to deal damage, but...
Yep, that's true. I guess the order makes sense. And I like that we have linked battery with expertise, so you get rerolls and focus conversions.
Yeah.
People, reroll and focus conversion. That is the math you want behind your red dice. It'll always give you good results. But tractor beam, look, it's 1 point. If it wasn't there, this would go down to 32 points, and there's no point having a 4-point bid. So I think it's better to have it than to not have it, personally.
Yeah.
And as you said, it sets up the next ship. So perhaps your ship doesn't quite get that shot with the harpoon missile, but your other ones do. You tractor beam them and hit them with the harpoon missiles, and you're having a great old time.
Indeed.
The harpoon missiles is a lot of fun. Interestingly enough, it's sort of become that default 4-point missile that everyone takes on their assault gunboats. And I don't think it's necessarily strictly the best thing the ship can be taking. I think there's absolutely a fringe case to take cluster missile. I know that's going against what the meta's saying. Harpoon missiles, there's no way to get automatic crits in this list. The guidance chips only gives your ship regular hit results. So you basically have to be just rolling them, which with linked battery, you've got a decent chance of doing, but there's no guarantee. Tractor beam, yeah, that means if you do roll a crit, there's a better chance of it going through. But it's not the nuts list for harpoon missiles. Harpoon missiles love to be on this alongside Kylo Ren, slinging all those dice.
Yeah.
or Rear Admiral Shenru, or anything that can guarantee crits, and this just doesn't. I mean, we can also think about taking off expertise, putting on, like, say, push the limits, and then switching out tractor beam and linked battery for mangler cannon. Mm-hmm. And that way you get crits in your list. You get a lot of efficiency in your activation. You get something that can deliver the crits to activate those harpoon missiles. And that might be something worth considering. But in the list you've put here, I'd actually consider just looking at cluster missiles, because you get 2 close range attacks. Slam can get you into range 1 pretty easily, and it might just be better. You might just be sinking more hits with your cluster missiles. Maybe not spending the target lock on your harpoon missiles just makes them better than cluster missiles. But I don't know. I think 99% of the time, yes, harpoon missiles is better. The meta is showing us that. They're perhaps slightly undercosted for what they do, but don't overlook cluster missiles. They're definitely something that's worth considering with this ship. Which brings us on to our last list by Ines, which did use cluster missiles. Expertise, Advanced Slam, and OS1 Arsenal loadout, again on the Rogue Squadron Veteran as a 3 of. Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. The package of having a torpedo/missile alongside Advanced Slam, alongside OS1 Arsenal loadout, means you can slam, target lock, and shoot them at close range with cluster missiles. This is absolutely the build you want. You want cluster missiles.
Yeah.
Because you can slam into close range and sling 6 dice in their face. I mean, you're going to feel bad if you don't get into range and you fight at range 3 too often. But if you're flying this well... No, not with slam. You really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It has a hard synergy in this list, but it also has the tools to make sure that hard synergy is pulled off game after game. And I love the simplicity of this. I love that it's not another list with harpoon missiles. I mean, it's everywhere right now. There's a reason it's everywhere. It's powerful.
Yeah.
But cluster missiles, I feel like in this list is justified. It's the better justified choice for sure.
No, I agree with you there.
Spending 4 points on expertise. Again, in the last list we looked at as well. What do you think?
Using expertise just means that you're nearly always going to be...
Oh, your dice are just nuts.
Yeah.
Your dice are just nuts. There's enough green on this dial to make sure you're not going to get stress locked too much. And even if one of these gets locked down with stress, the other 2 are still happy. Yeah. So like things like a Sarge Ventress isn't going to completely wreck this list.
No.
Unless you really are flying badly and you manage to get stress on all 3 of your ships. You're going to feel pretty bad if that happens. But even so, you can still clear it, advance slam, and do all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Expertise is a great card on a single ship, but it's very dangerous on a single ship because if it gets locked down with stress, it doesn't get the benefit from expertise.
Yeah.
Across 3 ships, yeah, it's expensive, but it means your entire expertise quota doesn't get locked down by 1 piece of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. 3 expertise. You have to buy...
3 U-Wings?
3 U-Wings, or is it a couple of U-Wings? I don't know how many are in that pack, but...
I think it's only 1.
Yeah, it's only 1, probably. Probably. FFG, we need more printings of expertise.
Maybe a game day promo or something?
Maybe that'd be good. Or they put it in the Imperial pack or a Scum pack. It's great on all 3 factions.
Yeah.
So I think it should go on at least one of the other factions in a future pack. I really like the efficiency of this list. I like the versatility of that last list we looked at, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It has the option to fire with cannons and the option to fire with missiles as well. I just think I want to go for cluster missiles. I want to go hard.
Yeah.
I want to make sure cluster missiles is the thing that's going to win me the game. I'm going to sling it at you. I'm going to fly away, slam, reload, come back, slam into range 1, fire. Yeah. Go away, slam, reload, slam back into the...
Like you're just doing it every 2 turns.
This is the list for advanced slam because you're getting those actions. Yeah, I love it. I love this a lot. And I think if 3 of the Starwing is going to work, it's this kind of efficient build that's going to be the one that does it.
Yeah,
that pushes it into relevancy.
I'd consider playing this one.
Yeah, for sure. Me too, man. We just have to buy a lot of U-Wings to get those copies of expertise, unfortunately.
I don't want to buy a U-Wing.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those cases where, and this is just like a side topic, I don't always encourage people to sort of use the aftermarket to buy, third-party cards and that kind of stuff. But in that kind of scenario... Look, it's not reasonable that we have to buy 3 U-Wings to do that.
Yeah.
1's okay because you get a lot of value, but then all the unique crew and everything. There's no point having multiple copies of that.
No.
It doesn't feel reasonable that there is a good option to use 3 expertise and we have to buy 3 U-Wings just to get it.
Yeah.
So hopefully FFG, again, step up their game, start printing these cards more commonly in other packs. I was so happy to see the TIE Silencer to give us prime thrusters, auto thrusters, and all that kind of great stuff. More of that. FFG, more of that. Anyway, that was the generic multiple of Starwing lists that you guys submitted to us. Very interesting. This ship has a lot of design space.
Yeah.
A very interesting ship. It's going to be great in this archetype. It's also great alongside other ships, which will be our next video.
Well, I think realistically, this is a ship that can... It's going to be in the meta for quite some time, for quite a few waves, I think.
I agree. This and the TIE Silencer.
Yeah.
Without question, for sure.
So let's like and subscribe.
Like our Facebook page, like the Twitter.
And we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.